Picture two people living in the same city, same rent, same grocery store, same traffic every morning. Person A wakes up early, checks their bank app, and feels safe that there's money sitting there. Not a lot, but enough. Enough to breathe. Person B wakes up, checks their phone, and pauses. The number looks similar, maybe even slightly higher, but the feeling is completely different because person B knows something person A doesn't. That money isn't really growing, that it's quietly shrinking. Months go by. Person A keeps doing what feels responsible, saving consistently, avoiding risk, playing it safe. Person B does something that feels uncomfortable at first. Uncertain, even a little dangerous. 5 years later, they meet again. Person A has more money than before, but somehow, life hasn't moved forward. Person B, less stress, more options, and a completely different future. Same starting point, same income bracket, same intentions, completely different outcomes. And the difference comes down to one thing: reframe, change now, go back to those two people, same city, same income, same starting point. Person A saved consistently, avoided risk, played it safe. Person B saved but then moved differently, invested, took calculated risks, used money as a tool. 5 years later, person A has more money than before, but life feels the same. Person B, more options, more flexibility, less pressure. Not because they were smarter, not because they earned dramatically more, but because they understood something early. Saving money is not the goal. Building a life is. And if your money isn't helping you move forward, then no matter how much you save, you're standing still. This isn't about saving money, that it's about how the way you save might be quietly holding you back. Promise I'm going to show you the rules most people never learn about saving. The ones that determine whether your money actually builds a life or just sits there while time passes, because what looks safe on the surface can be the exact thing keeping you stuck. Saving money without a purpose is just delayed spending. Most people think saving is automatically good. They put money aside every month. They feel disciplined, responsible, in control. But here's what most people miss. If your money has no defined purpose, it doesn't build anything, it just waits. Imagine someone saving 50,000 naira every month. After a year, that's 600,000 naira. Sounds solid. But what is it for? No investment plan, no business idea, no long-term goal, just saving. Now fast forward 3 years, that money gets touched. Slowly, randomly, a new phone, a family emergency, a few I deserve this moments. And suddenly, 3 years of discipline turns into nothing tangible, no asset, no growth, no change in life direction. The hidden consequence? You feel like you've been doing everything right, but you're still in the same place. Psychologically, this creates frustration, because effort without visible progress feels like failure, even when it isn't. Your savings are losing value every single day. It doesn't feel like it. The number in your account doesn't go down. In fact, it slowly increases, but in reality, your money is shrinking. Let's say you save 1 million naira today. You leave in a basic savings account. Inflation quietly rises. Prices increase. Fuel costs more. Food costs more. Rent increases. 5 years later, that same 1 million naira buys significantly less than it used to. It gets worse. Even if your bank gives you interest, it's often lower than inflation, which means your growth is actually negative. You're moving backward, slowly, invisibly. Nobody talks about this part because saving feels safe. But safety, in this case, is an illusion. The real cost isn't what you see. It's what your money can no longer do. The more you save without investing, the more time you lose. Time is the one thing money can't replace. But money can multiply with time. That's the part most people underestimate. Let's take two people again. One starts investing small amounts early, even just 20,000 naira monthly. The other decides to wait until they have more to invest and keeps saving instead. 5 years later, the saver finally starts. But here's the problem. The early investor didn't just invest money. They invested time, and time compounds. Returns build on returns. Opportunities stack. By the time the saver starts, they're already behind. Not because they saved wrong, but because they delayed growth. The hidden consequence? You don't feel the loss immediately. But years later, it shows up as working longer, retiring later, having fewer options, and that loss is irreversible. Saving too much can make you afraid to move. This one is subtle. The more money people save, the more protective they become. It feels logical. You work for it. You sacrifice for it. You don't want to lose it. But here's what happens psychologically. You start avoiding risk. Not reckless risk, even necessary risk. You don't invest because it feels uncertain. You don't start that business idea because it might fail. You don't change paths because you might lose stability. So the money sits, and you stay exactly where you are. It gets worse the more you save, the harder it becomes to use that money. Because spending it, even for growth, feels like losing it. So instead of money giving you freedom, it quietly traps you. Most people save for emergencies, but ignore opportunities. Saving for emergencies is important, but that's where most people stop. They build an emergency fund and then keep saving in the same way. No shift, no strategy, no upgrade. But here's the truth. Opportunities change your life more than emergencies protect it. An emergency fund keeps you stable. An opportunity fund moves you forward. Imagine this. Two people both have 500,000 IRA saved. One uses it only for emergencies. The other is ready to deploy it for a course, a skill, a business, an investment. An opportunity shows up, the first person hesitates. What if something goes wrong? The second person acts. 5 years later, one still has their safety net. The other has a new income stream. Same money, different mindset, different life. Saving feels productive, even when nothing is changing. This is where it becomes dangerous. Saving gives you a sense of progress. You're doing something. You're being disciplined. But real progress isn't about activity. It's about outcomes. Let's say you save consistently for years. Your account grows slowly, but your income stays the same. Your lifestyle stays the same. Your stress stays the same. Then what actually changed? This is the trap. Because saving feels like forward movement, you don't question it. You don't look for better strategies. You don't explore growth. You stay in a loop that feels safe, but leads nowhere. The system was designed for savers, not builders. This is the part nobody says out loud. The financial system rewards people who move money, not just store it. Banks make money when your money is active. Businesses grow when money flows. Investments multiply when money is used. But when you just save, your money becomes passive. It sits. It supports the system, but doesn't work for you. Meanwhile, people who understand this use money differently. They invest. They build. They take calculated risks. And over time, the gap widens. Not because they earn dramatically more, but because they use money differently. Playing safe is the riskiest long-term strategy. This sounds backwards, but it's true. Saving feels safe because you avoid loss, but you also avoid growth. And over time, the biggest risk isn't losing money, it's not growing at all. Think about retirement. If you rely only on saving, you need a massive amount of money to survive. But if your money grows, you need less effort for the same outcome. The real danger isn't failure, it's stagnation. Because stagnation guarantees one thing: you'll have to work longer than you planned. Now, go back to those two people. Same city, same income, same starting point. Person A saved consistently, avoided risk, played safe. Person B saved, but then moved differently. Invested, took calculated risks, used money as a tool. 5 years later, person A has more money than before, but life feels the same. Person B, more options, more flexibility, less pressure, not because they were smarter, not because they earned dramatically more, but because they understood something early. Saving money is not the goal. Building a life is. And if your money isn't helping you move forward, then no matter how much you save, you're standing still.